Every so often, a camera rumor begins as a quiet murmur and slowly grows into something that captures the full attention of filmmakers, cinematographers, and industry analysts. That moment has arrived again, this time with Sony at the center of the conversation. What started as faint speculation about the so-called Sony FX3 II, sometimes labeled informally as FX32, has now intensified into a much larger discussion, thanks to a combination of leaked details, insider commentary, and Sony's own subtle clues, such as price shifts and firmware patterns. The possibility of a major update feels more like a developing reality than a distant theory. Although Sony has not officially acknowledged any successor to the original FX3, the consistency of these reports is difficult to ignore. Several credible sources across the filmmaking and tech community have hinted that Sony is preparing a substantial evolution for its compact cinema line, and this potential FX3 II is rumored to bridge the gap between Sony's small-body cinema cameras and its higher-end professional systems in a way the industry has not seen before. According to early insider leaks, the Sony FX3 II may introduce a 24-megapixel fully stacked sensor. Not just any stacked sensor, but one built with dual-layer transistor technology designed to improve both light efficiency and readout speeds. This improvement alone could transform two of the most critical performance areas filmmakers care about: low light capability and rolling shutter suppression. Faster readout would drastically reduce skew during fast motion shots, while greater light sensitivity could turn the camera into a new low-light benchmark, surpassing even the original FX3 and A7S III, both celebrated for their night performance. One particular detail generating excitement is the suggested triple base ISO system featuring native values around ISO 800, ISO 4000, and ISO 25600. If accurate, this would position the Sony FX3 II as a high-performance camera capable of maintaining exceptional image clarity even in extreme darkness. For documentary shooters, wedding filmmakers, and anyone who regularly works in unpredictable lighting, such a feature could be transformative. However, the most talked about leak revolves around video recording. Rumor has it that Sony is preparing 6K open gate recording at up to 120 frames per second without any sensor crop. If this turns out to be true, filmmakers could access the entire sensor area at incredibly high frame rates, offering unprecedented freedom for reframing, vertical and horizontal deliverables, and cinematic slow motion. On top of that, 4K 120 FPS oversampled from the full 6K image would deliver extremely detailed footage far beyond the current FX3's capabilities. These rumored specs easily surpass the offerings of competitors like the Canon R5C or Panasonic S5 IIX, especially in terms of pure image flexibility. Pricing speculation has placed the FX3 II between $3,800 and $4,200, which would maintain its position in the compact cinema segment while acknowledging the substantial leap in technology. As for the release timeline, most chatter points toward late 2025 or early 2026, though this could shift depending on Sony's broader cinema roadmap. Not everyone is convinced the timing is ideal, though. Some professionals believe Sony may hold back on releasing the Sony FX3 II until the FX6 also receives an update. Since the FX3 and FX6 currently share extremely similar sensor technology, launching a significantly more advanced FX3 II ahead of an FX6 successor might create imbalance within Sony's cinema lineup. A coordinated or closely staggered release between the FX3 II and an FX6 Mark II feels more logical, and some insiders claim Sony is aligning development schedules accordingly. The rumored FX6 firmware update expected in early 2026 further supports this idea. To understand why the FX3 II is generating this much interest, it helps to revisit what the original FX3 achieved. Introduced in 2021, the FX3 quickly became a staple in the filmmaking community. It offered the cinematic look of Sony's larger systems, such as the FX6 and FX9, but in a compact, travel-friendly body. By using the same 10.2 megapixel sensor as the A7S III, combined with excellent low-light performance and dual-base ISO, the FX3 delivered striking images without demanding a bulky cinema rig. Its compact form factor made it extremely adaptable. You could mount it on a gimbal, fly it on a drone, attach it to a car rig, or use it handheld for long shoots. The FX3's rise in reputation was solidified when the creator, a major sci-fi film, used the FX3 extensively. This proved that small cameras, when designed intelligently, could play in the same league as much larger and more expensive cinema systems. But over time, the industry around the FX3 evolved. Competitors introduced open gate recording, higher resolutions, internal RAW, and more robust media options. While the FX3 remains beloved, it no longer feels cutting edge. Many filmmakers have been waiting for Sony to take the next significant step, and the FX3 II rumors suggest that step may finally be on the horizon. The filmmaking community has already formed an informal wish list of improvements, focusing largely on features that would modernize the FX3 without sacrificing its strengths. One of the biggest requests is full open gate recording. Creators increasingly deliver content in multiple aspect ratios, not just widescreen cinematic formats, but also vertical formats for social media. A 3:2 open gate mode would provide enormous versatility, allowing content to be cropped, reframed, and repurposed for various platforms. Another major request is 16-bit internal RAW. The current FX3's reliance on external recorders for RAW capture adds cost, bulk, and cabling frustrations, undermining the entire point of a compact cinema camera. Internal RAW recording would give filmmakers greater dynamic range and grading flexibility without compromising mobility. Media format is another area filmmakers hope Sony improves. The FX3 currently uses CF type of cards, which, although reliable, are significantly more expensive and slower than CF Type B cards used by other brands. Moving to Type B would allow faster data rates and larger files, essential for 6K video and high bit rate recording, while also lowering media costs for users. Build quality and durability also rank high on the list of desired improvements. While many praise the FX3's lightweight, some users have noted issues with weather sealing and long-term durability. A more rugged build, better articulating screen mechanisms, and a stronger hot shoe would make the Sony FX3 II more suitable for rough conditions often seen in documentary or travel filmmaking. Audio is another area ripe for enhancement. Many hope Sony will include 32-bit float audio recording, which would reduce clipping and provide more flexibility during post-production. Since the FX3 already includes an XLR handle for professional audio sources, upgrading the internal recording capability would create a more complete all-in-one system. At this point, the Sony FX3 II remains officially unconfirmed, but the momentum behind the rumors has reached a point where many consider its release inevitable. Sony has historically been deliberate with its cinema updates, choosing to launch new models only when they represent meaningful leaps forward. Because the FX3 is still highly regarded, Sony will need to deliver substantial improvements to justify a second generation, and based on these leaks, they may be preparing to do exactly that. Whether the FX3 II arrives before or after the FX6 successor remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. This update has the potential to reshape Sony's compact cinema lineup for years to come. If the rumors prove accurate, a next-generation stacked sensor, open-gate video, enhanced low-light performance, internal RAW, improved durability, and AI-driven autofocus, the FX3 II could become one of the most important cinema camera releases of the decade.